Feeling anxious, stay with me. In this video I will guide you through 2 simple breathing techniques that will instantly help you to feel calmer. But before we dive in, if you want weekly updates and insights on how to manage your anxiety naturally, then hit that subscribe button and make sure never to miss a video. Breathing is one of the fastest ways to shift your body from feeling anxious to relaxation. And I'm going to explain why before we're then going to dive into practicing 2 powerful breathing techniques together. Breath work is the only access that we have to what's known as our autonomic nervous system. Our autonomic nervous system includes things like breathing, our heart rate and our digestion. And really out of those, breathing is the only thing that we can alter. When we breathe fast and shallow, we send a signal to our nervous system that we're aroused and that there's something to be concerned about. And this shifts us into what is known as sympathetic nervous state, also called fight or flight. This is the state we're often in when we're feeling anxious. The other nervous state, parasympathetic or rest and digest, we can activate by slowing and deepening our breathing, and by also extending our exhale over our inhale, so by having a longer exhale than inhale. And then the final thing with our breath is that if we want to reduce our feelings of anxiety and feel calmer, we want to make sure we're breathing with our nose and not with our mouth, because if we breathe with our mouth, our breath again tends to be faster and more shallow. And we can test this, so let's try this together now. So just place your hand on your tummy and your hand on your chest. And I'd like you to do a few breaths just in and out through your mouth with me. Just noticing where you can feel the hand moving. Is it the top hand or the bottom? And now let's do the same thing with the lips pursed. And hopefully what you can notice is with the mouth open, the top hand is moving more. So we're having a more shallow chest breath. With the mouth closed, the bottom hand's moving more, which means we're breathing deeper and fuller into our bellies. Okay, so now let's start our 2 breath practices. I'm going to guide you through a practice called coherence breathing and then a practice called humming bee breathing. Both are great for reducing anxiety. You can either use both at any time during the day. There is no limit to the amount of times you use this. Or you could use, if you find one that you prefer much or more over the other, then use that one. So just, it's your choice really. So we're going to start with coherence breathing. You'll see I'm seated on the floor. You don't have to be. You can be seated in a chair, but wherever you decide to be, just make sure that you're supported in terms of your bottom, and if you're sitting, your feet are flat on the floor. If you're in a chair, that you've got a supported back chair so you can just rest back and be more comfortable. The reason I go on the floor is because this is giving my body the signal that I'm about to do something where I need to be focused, where I need my mind to not be distracted, and where I'm going to relax essentially. If I sit in a chair, I may be reading a book. I'm in my office where I do all of my business. So again, if I'm on my office chair, my mind is going, oh, work, rather than relaxation. So I find it much better to be on the floor when I'm choosing to do something that's relaxing, and you might want to just try that if you've not tried it before. The other thing with being on the floor is it's very grounding, so it helps us to feel very in connection with the earth and with our surroundings, which again is very good for reducing anxiety. So let me give you a minute, go and find wherever you're going to join me from, and we will get started. So let's start with coherence breathing. Coherence breathing is where we have an even inhale and exhale. And we practice this all through the nose, as I said earlier. Breathing through the nose when we're anxious, really important. Helps to calm the body down. Breathing through the mouth will make us more aroused. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale for a count of 5 and exhale for a count of 5 through our nose. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start you at a count of 4, because often if we're feeling quite aroused, to get to a count of 5 can be quite a challenge if we're already breathing quite fast. So we're going to start at 4, and then we'll do a few rounds at 4, and then I'll go to 5. If you find when I go to 5 that you're really struggling to get to the 5, then go back to 4. Don't extend the breath so long that it actually makes you feel more anxious. We're trying to calm you down here, okay? So wherever you are, if you're on the floor, just whatever's comfortable for you, just, not to rest your hands on your knees. You could even have your hands here. There's no like perfect pose, just so that your chest is straight. You've got a nice clear breath. If you are sitting on a chair, just leaning back against the chair, placing your feet on the floor. And now what I'd like you to do is to either lower your gaze slightly, so you're just looking a little bit down to the floor, or you can just close your eyes and just listen to my voice. Okay, and on my count, we're going to inhale for 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Let's try 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. All through the nose. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, out, and in, and out, and in, and out. And just keeping that going to your own count. What I'd like you to do now is, as you're breathing, continue with that breathing, just noticing when a thought pops into your head, which it will do. This is perfectly normal. And just as you notice that thought, just becoming aware of it and not engaging with it. So as you notice the thought, just gently saying to yourself, thinking, and just going back to the count of the breath. Just keeping that breath going, inhaling for 5, exhaling for 5, all through the nose. Just being aware of the thoughts. The thoughts are normal, but we're not going to engage. When we engage with the thought, we give the thought some energy, and we're not going to do that. So just a couple more rounds in your own time, just counting a couple more rounds of inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And when you get to your final round, just gently opening your eyes if your eyes were closed, or just raising your gaze back to me, hello, on the screen. Okay, and let's just roll the shoulders out now. And just see now, just noticing, how do you feel from when you first started to now? Just noticing, is there any change? Do you feel any different? Does your body feel different? What's happening in your body? So this is really interesting to become aware of what's going on in our body when we're feeling anxious. And this is the way we actually learn to heal anxiety, is connecting with the body, understanding what the body is telling us, and recognising the signs our body gives much earlier so that we can take action before we become over anxious and overwhelmed. So that is our coherence breathing. We're now going to move on to our second breath technique of the video, and this is humming bee breath, and it's also known as Brahmari. It comes from yogic breathing. Brahmari means big black bee, so hence humming bee breath, and you'll see why it's called that in a moment. So let's get ourselves back ready again to practice. If you're on the floor, comfortable position. If you're in your chair, feet firmly on the floor, flat on the floor, leaning back against the chair, supported. And again, just lowering the gaze or closing the eyes. You just need to hear me, not see me at this point. And we're going to inhale through the nose, and then as we exhale, we're going to exhale with a hum. So inhaling through the nose, exhale. Now you can see why it's called the humming bee breath. Now with the exhale, we're exhaling for as long as it takes to fully empty the lungs. You'll find that the exhale is longer than the inhale, which again is another way we will move ourselves to rest and digest state. So let's start with this practice, and let's do around about a minute of these. So inhaling. Just before you do your next one, just see if you can loosen your jaw as you hum. So just noticing, are you clenching your teeth, are you clenching your jaw, making the lips really lovely and loose. So as you hum, you feel the vibration round the lips, round the mouth. So let's try that. One more. And again, now let's check in. So let's just see what's going on in the body. What can you feel? What can you notice? Anything different from before? And just to give you the science around that, so I mentioned the extended exhale, but also the humming noise we're making is actually stimulating what's known as the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is the longest nerve in the body, and it runs between the brain and the belly, and it connects to all of the major organs on the way. It's basically our superhighway to our parasympathetic, our rest and digest state. So we're doing this humming, we're stimulating the vagus nerve, and if we stimulate the vagus nerve, it helps us to switch quicker into rest and digest. So that's it. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you found just a few minutes of these breathing techniques can help you shift your state into a more calm and less anxious place. If you want more techniques like this is the type of techniques I teach in my membership, both breathwork and somatics, or of the body techniques. My membership is a monthly subscription, £22 a month, but you can join now for just £1. So in the membership you'll get online lessons that explain exactly why anxiety is happening. There's videos in those online lessons as well, so this teaches you what's going on in the body, and more importantly, what to do about it, to be able to bring yourself to a state of calm and to heal. And then also included are 2 live group coaching sessions with me every single month, where we do these practices for around about an hour. So you've got the structure of knowing that I'll be there supporting you to do these practices, the practices you need to be able to heal and to manage anxiety naturally. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I really hope to see you in another video soon.